everybody, welcome back to Two Tall Stitchers. I'm Jennifer and my mom Carol is not here, as you can see. I'll fill you in on what's going on in our life updates, but today it's going to be just me. I thought I would pop in and give you an update because I have worked on a lot. I got Christmas gifts, I did some FFOing over the holidays, and I'm going to be out of town next week, so I figured that could make it like a month until we came back. So here I am. Thank you all very much for returning. Thanks so much for your lovely comments on our whip parade and finish parade. We had a great time filming that, as we always do. And Mom has her priority set of projects to work on now, which she's pretty happy about. I want to welcome back our new subscribers and also give a special shout out to several people who have just been knocking it out of the park with the Big Girl Pants Challenge. I finally got my big girl pants on over the holidays. I've done maybe half of what I was hoping to do with the challenge, so it will continue. But Margaret sent us a few pictures by email. Robin finished 17 items. Way to go, Robin. Dee said she finished 7 ornaments and 12 other items. Awesome. Diane finished a quilt that had been languishing for a while. Love to hear that. And Sue takes the cake. She finished 57 items in 2025. What an accomplishment. Congratulations to all of you. And thanks for joining us on the Big Girl Pants Challenge. That will just go on and on. If you have a finish, you want to tag me on Instagram, I'm at Jen Quilter, or you want to send us a picture, you can send it to twotallstitchers@gmail.com. We really enjoy seeing your pictures. So thanks so much for joining us and congratulations for getting your big girl pants on and getting some fun things done. I also want to thank Rose at Untwist Your Stitches in the Got Whips podcast who mentioned us. I'm guessing the second mention was about our whip parade, but I haven't had a chance to make it over there yet. Without the comic relief, this might be a faster episode. So I'll jump right into the quilt of the day, which is not mine. It is my mom's, and she said, please show it, and then we can mail it. This is a quilt that she made for my nephew, her grandson, who lives in Colorado. He loves to ski, and she found this panel a while back, which is all kind of winter cabin skiing themed, and she knew it would make a great quilt for him. And then she couldn't figure out what to do, and one day we were shopping and we saw a Villa Rosa pattern, and it was perfect for this. Very simple. It has the pieces here that kind of go up like a mountain. Same thing on the bottom, very simple border, and really that allows your panel to be the star of the show. So she finished this up, I think, before Christmas and then handed it over to me. I did the quilting on it. I did a fun kind of up and down design, trying to make it look a little bit like mountains. It's artistically themed for mountains. And then got it back to her. She bound it, and it is, maybe it's labeled. We'll see. Not yet labeled, but ready to go to her grandson. It'll be his late Christmas present, and I think he will really enjoy it. So hope you enjoy Mom's quilt of the day. I am in her sewing room. I've been at my parents' house for the past couple of days. I looked around a little bit to find the pattern name, but I didn't. So if you really want to know which pattern this is, let us know. And when she's back up and moving in here, we will find out the name of that and let you know. Life updates. Why don't we start with my mom? So today, as I film, it is January 18th, which is Sunday. And on Thursday, the dog had a vet appointment. And my daughter was still home from school. She's on her way back as we speak. And she was driving up to help my mom take the dog to the vet because she doesn't like to get in the car. She doesn't like to walk on her leash. She's kind of a challenging puppy when it comes to leaving the house. And so they were trying to get her to come in the car. And long story short, Mom tripped. She fell and she stopped herself with her face. She's okay. That's the good news. My daughter got experience with 911. She also learned she's now allowed to overrule her grandma because in the beginning my mom was saying, no, it's fine. I just need a bandage. I'll be fine. So it was a pretty rough Thursday for both of them. Good news is that Mom has been recovering for the last couple of days. She's been mostly in bed with alternating heating pad and ice pack. She's going to have a nice new beauty mark on her forehead and probably on her eyelid as well. Her left eye took the brunt of it, and she'll have some follow-up as a result of a broken bone really close to her eye. So she's sore, she's stiff, but she has her vision, and she'll recover from this. So please, she's gonna watch this and she will definitely be looking at the comments. So if you want to send her good wishes in the comments, I know she will really enjoy those. She's kind of mad right now because she can't see well enough out of her left eye because everything is swollen at the moment to stitch. So she might get into some knitting soon, but we'll probably take a couple weeks off from crafting, and then it might be a slow return after that. But I have no doubt she will make a full recovery. She has way too much stuff in this room that she wants and needs to make. I don't want it all. So she's got to get better to come back up here and continue with that. Some of you know my dad is of advanced age, way more advanced than my mom. She's a spring chicken compared to him. And so I have been here helping with him, making sure he gets food, making sure he goes to bed, all of those fun things you do with elderly parents. I'm only calling one of you elderly. Don't get your panties in a knot to the other one who's watching. So that's been our last couple of days. Not quite how we planned to spend the long weekend. But you know what? Stuff happens in life and we'll get past it and we'll keep moving on. So that's the big news. Last time we were here for a regular Flosstube was actually before Christmas. We had a great Christmas. We spent the morning at my house opening gifts. The kids each got something to build, so they were busy creating all morning. And then we came up here in the afternoon and spent the afternoon and evening with my parents. We had a great dinner. I think maybe we played games that night. Maybe we played them when my cousin came. But a couple days later, my cousins and their family came up and we had another great visit with them. And then Mom had her birthday, and that's when we filmed our last episode. We had, comically enough, a little bit of a disaster dinner that night. We had gone out for her birthday to a restaurant that she and I enjoy and the kids love. And so she said, yeah, let's go there since they're both home. And we'll just say it was a very damp dinner. There was a spill, and it was fun. We thought that was the biggest challenge we were going to tell you about when we came back. So in hindsight, that looks pretty darn tame. But she had a good birthday other than that. And then New Year's happened and I packed up the kids and we drove up to northern Michigan and we skied for a couple of days at Nub's Knob and Boyne Highlands, and we had a great trip. Jack skied more than Jenna did, but both of them really had a good time, and it was great to get back on skis. I haven't skied for, I think we decided 7 or 8 years, but it came right back and the kids both picked it right up kind of where they left off. So we had a nice trip together, just the 3 of us. And then I came back and went right into the swing of things. Super, super busy time at work for me, and got Jack back to school last weekend, and Jenna took off for New York this morning. She's driving back. So also send your good wishes to her as she does the 2-day drive back to New York. So I think that's everything that's going on. Not a lot and a lot all at the same time. So why don't we jump into questions? We didn't have any questions on our last episode. We had a couple on the whip parade. I know not everybody watches whip parades, so I just answered them in the comments there. But our question for you last time was, what is your favorite time of day to stitch? And it's fairly well spread out, but there are a lot of us who stitch at the same time of day. So we'll start with the early birds. We had 10 of you who really like to stitch in the mornings, either because you like to start your day that way, or you like to stitch when the house is quiet. That was a common theme. We like to stitch when things are quiet, or you like to stitch with your coffee in the morning. We had 15 of you who like to stitch kind of middle of the day, mostly in the afternoon. A lot of people said like they take care of all the chores in the morning, and then after lunch they can settle down and stitch for a while in the afternoon. And then the big group, 31 of us, are evening stitchers, some going way into the night out category. We had multiple people who said they stitch way too late or stay up too late stitching. I'm often one of those as well, and I know Mom is too. We had 17 who said anytime. I know at least a couple of those people have young kids in the house, so you take the moments when you can get them when you have young kids. And other people just said, you know, when I have availability, I sit down and stitch for a little bit. And then we had 7 people who said all day. They love to stitch all day. And you are all very lucky if you can stitch all day. I really only do that at retreats. Our common threads, like I said, when the house is quiet, that applied for the morning people and the late people as well. And a lot of the people who don't stitch at night commented that they stitch during the day so they have good light and they stitch by a window or sit where the lighting is good. So thanks so much for your answers on that one. Fun as always, and hopefully I've remembered I'm a little scattered, so we'll see. Maybe I put a graph up there, maybe not. If not, we'll get back to graphs soon. And then we'll jump into whips. I'm laughing because I'm looking at the timer and we're at 11 minutes, and usually at 11 minutes, Mom and I are still yammering on about what's been going on. So this will probably be a shorter episode than usual. This will turn into another whip parade because I've actually touched everything since you saw it in our last episode. Now, a few of those I might have touched before the whip parade, so they don't have updates this time, but I brought them anyway in case there are people who didn't watch the whip parade and want to see where we are. So the first one is Christmas Parade. This is by Vinnie, Cottage Garden Samplings, and I started this one at the Jingle Ball earlier in December. I'm stitching this on 36 count Stonehenge from Forbidden Fiber Company, and that is a linen, and I'm getting the paper behind it. So here's the progress. I think when I was working on it, I was definitely working in here. Santa's beard, part of his coat, his hat, this little bell. It's so funny that thread for the bell, when I bought it, I thought, oh my gosh, that is like the yuckiest color. And then I put it in for a bell and I was like, oh, that's actually pretty good. So that's where I am on this one. I haven't touched this since Christmas. I don't know when it'll come out again. I suspect it will definitely come out during the Winter Olympics. I'll mention that now in case I forget later. The nap time stitcher Katie is doing Stitch the Winter Olympics again. My favorite way to celebrate my favorite sporting event. She gives you a prompt every day and you decide what you want to stitch on that prompt. It could be a whip, it could be a new start, it could be the same thing 6 days, or it could be different things for, I think there's 16 or 17 days of the Olympics every day. And so I try and make sure I use my whips. I definitely will have some new starts in there, but this will be a great one when it's like something with snow, something with people, colors of the Olympic rings, because I have a giant red coat to stitch. So that will be a fun one to keep working on there. So once again, that's Christmas Parade by Cottage Garden Samplings. I'm going to try and keep these somewhat in order as I go. Oh, and this is all the called for threads. There is one gray I might need to change when I get to the animals at the bottom, because it's in some parts of that Stonehenge, it's really close to the color. In other parts, it'll be fine. So we'll see where that, I think it's the bunny, where that one falls, and we'll go from there. Okay, the next one, I told you it's been a super busy time at work. We start the year, hang on. we start the year with a bang every year. So I'm working HR and we have a big HR process at the beginning of the year. So it's a lot of long nights and a lot of long days. And so I'm always looking for something that doesn't take a lot of brain power during that time. And the one that I picked up most often is Reflections of Ireland from Ink Circles, because it's a repeating pattern and it's all one color. So I don't have to worry about color changes. If I'm not sure how the piece is going, I just look at the repeat on the other side, and I can do kind of one motif at a time. And that's what I've been doing. And I've gotten really close on this one. This should be a finish next time I pick it up. Let me move my needle minder. I don't remember where it was last time you saw it, but here it is now. I am into that fourth quadrant. I have a little bit of the shamrock to finish, and I have another harp and the building, and I think that's it, which is good because that's how much thread I have left. This said it called for 3 skeins. This is my 3rd skein. I'm really hoping that I make it. This is on 32 count Lugana. Confetti is the name of it. So it is the recommended count and size, and hopefully my 3rd skein of thread will hold out and I'll be able to finish it off. Otherwise, I may be begging some of you for thread. So when we get there, I have some thanks to offer. So that's Reflections of Ireland, and that is whip number 2. And probably, hopefully, next time you see that, it will be a finish. My goal is to have this one finished by St. Patrick's Day, and if possible, I'd love to have it FFO'd so I can have it up in my house. The next one has also been, well, I'm gonna flip up the order because I think I worked on that one more recently. So the next whip that I worked on, which is a hot mess here, is usually I have time to get my hot mess taken care of while my mom is talking. So now you guys get to see it. The next one is Robin Pickens, Colors of Fall. And this one we got at the Chantel's 141 Pep Rally Retreat with Robin this fall. And I absolutely love this piece. It's so nice to pick up because you can just stitch like one kind of leaf set at a time and you feel like you have a nice accomplishment. This one is stitched on 32 count Vintage Country Mocha, and I've made some good progress on it. And actually, oh, that's just thread on it. I thought I had stopped mid-stitch. Here's where I am. So you can see I have made it all the way across. I can't remember if I had last time. And the purple flower in the middle, that's the halfway point. So I'm starting on the second half for all of the leaves and flowers. And then the words are working their way down and up. It'll be splendid and glorious. So that is coming along quite nicely, and I am sure I will pick this one up again. This is all DMC threads. And we say this about all of ours, don't we? I really enjoy stitching on this one. It's quite nice. And I think I said 32 count Vintage Country Mocha. So that's Colors of Fall. My next one is also on 32 count Vintage Country Mocha, and this is my Thanksgiving Biscornu from Barbara Anna Designs. I took this one with me on our ski trip because I thought it might be easy, mindless, or not too heavy stitching after long days of skiing. So this is the pattern. The interesting thing about this one is it does not give you a different pattern for the back of the Biscornu. I don't know if anybody has stitched this one or another of Barbara Anna's designs. If so, I would be curious what you stitched for the back. I did some Instagram searching and some Googling, and I found a couple of people who had done like 2 rounds of border And I have the little, like there's little acorns in it. Maybe they could go around. But if you have any ideas, let me know. This is also the one that I mentioned last time that I didn't have the right color for those pumpkins. And I want to say very much thank you. I think I have 4 people reach out to me and let me know they have the DMC variegated threads and would be happy to send me one. I bought several colors to try, so I think I'm going to do that first. And then if I decide I don't like them, I will definitely be in touch with one of you. But like I said, this is an easy one just to pick up and kind of ticky-tack along and make a little progress on. I think I even picked it up one of these days after work when it had been a really long day, because I think I worked on his face. I was like, it'll be really easy to put in cheeks and a face. And it was. So I have 3 out of 4 pilgrims done, even though this guy has a needle minder on his face, and I'm working my way around. I'm going to probably put those pumpkins in last, and that way I can play a little bit with the colors. I may stitch, you know, a little bit in different colors on the different sides to see what I like best. And then I have plenty of fabric here to do the other side of the biscornu. And I have to say also, I'm really enjoying this Nerge hoop. This is the size 2, and it's been the perfect size for this size of a stitch. The nice thing is I don't have to take it out at all, and it's really easy to work with. Other people have commented on Nerges that they don't hold the fabric quite as taut, and I found that the first time I put it in the Nerge was the best. And this one, usually when I'm stitching on something, I'll take it out of my hoop or my Q-snap when I'm done at the end of the day, and then put it back in the next day. And I did that a couple of times with this one, and it wasn't as tight. So I got a good tightness in there one day, and I was like, I'm just leaving it. It'll be fine. So that's Thanksgiving biscornu, and that one I will continue to ticky-tack away on. The nice thing is it should be a pretty easy finish, and then I will be able to work on finishing the biscornu for next year. The next project was my New Year's start, and we drove up to Michigan on New Year's Eve. It was quite a day. It snowed from Lansing all the way north. Heavy snow, pretty slippery snow. Wasn't the most fun drive for a while. I think I was doing like 35 miles an hour. And we kept watching at my car GPS, you know, it tells you that the time you're going to arrive. And I kept driving, and it kept staying the same time. And then it started going up, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is going to be a long drive. But the kids were with me. They kept me wide awake and alert. I had, thank goodness, a pretty full reservoir of windshield washer fluid, because every 5 minutes, like, I had to wash the windshield because it was so messy. And when we finally got there, it was just like, oh my gosh, thank goodness. I was all tight in my shoulders because I had been gripping the wheel so tightly that day. But then we got there. We had dinner. Jenna made dinner that night. It was lovely to have my daughter make dinner for us. And then it was probably 7 o'clock when we were done. And so I thought I could stitch a little bit. And I had brought my biscornu, and I had my New Year's Day start. And I thought, you know, tomorrow we're going to go ski, and we're going to ski a long day. And at the end of it, I'm probably going to be really tired. And I don't know, I'm going to have the mental space for a new start tomorrow. So this became my New Year's Eve start, and that was kind of fun. And then I did wind up working on it the next day. So earlier this winter, Helen D, my buddy over at East Coast Crafter, mentioned that she was going to start Blizzard Valley from Cross Stitch in the Forest by Pigeon Coop Designs, Max Pigeon. And I pulled out my book and I looked at it and I said, ooh, I really like that one, Helen. Let me know when you're going to start it and I'll start it with you. And we didn't even communicate with each other, but unbeknownst to each other, we both started it within a couple of days. And Helen started from the bottom, I started from the top. So I'll meet you in the middle, Helen. We'll have to see where we are. I might be done by the time we get to market, but if not, we'll have to bring them and take a picture together. So this is the design. Again, it's called Blizzard Valley. I love how it's finished in that frame, but he also does a lot in circular frames. So I don't know which one I'll wind up with. Love these colors, and my gosh, isn't this going to be a great piece to put up right after the holidays when your house looks so bare and you just need some decorations? This will be a perfect winter piece. So I dug through my stash because I wanted to use stash fabric if I had it, and I found a piece of antique white Lugana that I got at Needle Fever. RIP Needle Fever. It was our fantastic local shop when I moved to Indianapolis, and the ladies there were great. They had an awesome framer, and I used to go there and buy all my stuff before I knew Persnickety existed. And then at some point when my kids were really little, she decided to sell the shop. Somebody else bought it. That one didn't work out, and she tried to sell it, but then wasn't successful. So unfortunately, Needle Fever closed many years ago. I'm guessing I bought this piece of fabric when she was doing her sale during one of the sales of the shop. So, and my kids were not yet in elementary school when we used to hang out there. So this has percolated in my stash for at least 15 years. And it was a great piece to start this because all of the whites pop off it great. So this is where I am. Like I said, I started it on New Year's Eve. I worked on it a couple days then, and then I just keep picking it up. And every time I think, like, I got bored with this first blue color, and I was like, okay, when I get to the next color, I'm putting this down for a while. Then I started the medium blue color, and I was like, oh, this is kind of fun. And so I stitched a while, and then I got bored with it, and I was like, yeah, I'm going to put it down. Well, then there's another new color, and now I'm in the part where it's mountains, and then the trees begin to come in. So this, to me, is the fun part of the design, and I really, really like how it's turning out. This is what I was working on the other day and this morning, and I think this might just get a lot of stitching on it because I just love the colors so much. Here are most of the colors. So it is DMC, and they are beautiful blues and teals and greens. And I just love how it looks. And you know what? I like a lot of his other designs as well. This may well become the book that I stitched the most out of any of the cross-stitch books that I've ever gotten. So again, Blizzard Valley. If you want to join me and Helen in that, and you have the book or you buy the book, just let us know. We'd love to see it. The next one, which is another new start and my last whip, really my last whip because there are none at home, I've stitched on all of them, is a piece I bought at the Jingle Ball. And this one, again, I'm not used to opening all my stuff before I show it. So give me just a second. Here we go. And my printer was not behaving well when I printed this, but this is Scandi Winter Animals by Tiny Modernist. This was a piece she was selling at the Jingle Ball. I don't think this one is available yet. I think it was an exclusive for the first year, but I'm not positive. You could always hop over and see if it's available. I did the same thing with this, and I dug around in my stash to find linen that I had or fabric that I had that would work. And let me put the paper behind this one. I found 28 count lamb's wool Lugana that I had left over, and I think it's just perfect for this. So I started with that little bear in the middle, and then we got two mountains over his head. He'll have a reindeer on one side and a fox on the other side. He doesn't have eyes yet because I know that color is in one of my other projects and I haven't dug around. I know I need to search for it. Also, I realized I need a winter animal needle minder. So I think I might have to look for that because a koala is not very much a winter animal. I imagine Well, they're furry, so they probably stay warm in the winter in Australia. But certainly not what I think of as a winter animal. So this was a fun start, and I'm having fun with this, and I think I will enjoy, like, each time I pick this up, I'll be able to add a little animal or add a couple of trees. I'll decide after I've added everything if I'm gonna do the border. So again, this is what it looks like. It has a border all around it. I may or may not do that. I dug out my spool of anchor thread that I bought ages ago when they were selling them at Joann. My mom might have a spool too. If she does, then I'll definitely have enough to be able to do the border. But with just this amount left on the spool, I don't know if I have enough for the border. And if not, that's okay. I think it'll be fine without the border. And that might give me flexibility in some trim around the edge. I have no idea how I will finish this yet. Probably some type of, if it fits in a frame, fantastic. If not, some type of like flat fold, so that it can be out for a winter decoration. And this is also all DMC colors. And these are the lovely oranges and tealy blues that go with this project. And I think one or two of the colors that I need for this are in my Blizzard Valley bag. So we'll keep those close so I can switch out the threads as I work on that. So there we are, 31 minutes. And that's all my whips. So you guys tell me what you've been working on. I know I watched Helen's latest video. She started a bunch of stuff at the end of the year. Did you have a lot of new starts before the end of the year, or were you a mad finisher? Were you trying to finish things up? That's not the question of the day, but you can tell me that anyway while I kill some time to put in my stuff. I think I'm gonna have some more new starts soon. We'll see. You never know, but I enjoyed starting both of those projects, and I have a bag of projects that are like, I want to start soon. And I know there's a couple in there that have been in there for a while, so I'll probably be digging in there to get some of them soon. So stay tuned, probably more starts. I had two finishes. Both were starts and finishes since I've seen you last time, and one of them became an FFO. So I'll start with the one that did not become an FFO, and it is the last piece from Hands on Design, Mad for Plaid. This was a market piece, I think 2 years ago, maybe 3 years ago. I don't know, 2023. So it'll be 3 years ago this market. And I had stitched the 3 other seasons, but I hadn't done winter yet. And I pulled that puppy out right before the new year. And boom, it was a finish in like 2 or 3 stitching sessions. This is such a fun series. I have finished the others on the board from Chantel, and I will finish this one as well. I toyed with maybe finishing it before the end of the year, but I didn't quite have time before we went to Michigan. So this will be a finish soon, so it can go on that board, and then I can have the display board out for all 4 seasons of the year. So that's winter from Mad for Plaid by Hands on Design, and that is stitched on 32 count charcoal Lugana. I really like how these all turned out on the charcoal Lugana, and I really like using that fabric. So I have a little bit left from the piece I bought, and I will be looking for something fun. Oh, and I used Cosmo threads for that. I got these at a shop in the last couple of years and thought, oh, that would be fun to use Cosmo for this project. So I did, and I really enjoyed using the Cosmo. I think it is about the same as DMC. I didn't see any major differences, and the colorways are nice, so it was good to try a new thread. I am going to share next my FFOs. So when we did our whip and finish parade, I had finished all 4 of these, but like I said earlier, I know not everybody likes to watch whip parades, so I thought I would show them again. And you know what, we're trying to make up some time since I don't have my sidekick. Over the holidays, I worked on well, I worked on more than 4, but I actually got to the finish stage for 4 of my projects. And I'm trying to, oh no, 6. So there's 2 that you haven't seen that I don't have anymore because they were gifts for my kids, and they were the national parks pieces. So I did Zion National Park and Acadia National Park. I'm pretty sure I have a picture of them both. Let me put a note here. And if I do, I will put in the pictures or the picture that has them. I can't remember if it's 1 or 2. My kids both like them, and yeah, they were a fun finish. I just made simple ornaments out of them. And if you want to see them in more detail, they are in the finish parade. I think the next finish in order was this one. This is Sweet Spring by Satsuma Street Designs, and I can't remember the name of this fabric. It's an Aida, and I think it was a Laura's fabric. I have a thread on there. Okay, now it's perfect, but I can't remember the name of it. This one, did I lace it? Nope, I just glued it, put some magnets on. There's magnets on this board. I have a couple of other pieces that I will trade this out for, so this will be a bit of a seasonal board. And I'm trying to decide if I want to do something up at the top, like some kind of bow, but I think I'll wait until I FFO the other things, because if there's something like a little bit taller, then I don't want to have a magnet here. I did try with one of the other Chantel boards putting the magnets on the back, but I found the ones I bought were not quite strong enough to hold it on the front. So I can't remember the name of this board. It might be the Bender board, might not be. If you want to know, let me know, and I will be happy to share the name of it. But I got this at our 141 retreat, and I stained it, and I really like how it turned out, and I think it will be a great board to put several things on. And I'm very happy to have the first one finished. So that is Sweet Spring by Satsuma Street. The next one was a kit from Praiseworthy Stitches, and I got this at market, I think last year, but it might have been the year before. And I stitched this and finished it and FFO'd it all since our last video. It was in that same bag of things I want to stitch soon, and I was like, you know what? I think I can finish this up by the end of the year. So I did, and then I very quickly went to FFO it. Everything is in the little kit, the linen, the threads, the beads, the finishing trim, which is a ribbon and then a plastic snowflake garland, the red ribbon, the hanger, and the felt for the back. So all of that got finished, and this will get put away with my ornaments to come out and go on the Christmas tree next year. And I think this one was called Christmas Star Ornament. I'm pretty sure. But this is the second one I've done, and I just think they're so pretty. I told myself while I was doing it, I probably don't need any more of these, but you know what? If it's cute and it's at market this year, guess what? I'll buy it. The third FFO is Wintry Tales. It's a bookmark that I got from the Spellbound series. I think it's Spellbound series fundraiser last year. And the pattern is by Modern Folk Embroidery. I used an old Needle Necessities thread. That's now Threadworks. And it shows up super variegated on this picture. It is very variegated, but in person it's not quite as crazy as it looks to me here. This one I decided to do a hem stitch for the first time. I watched a couple of videos and I think I did an okay job. The corners need some work. In hindsight, I would have left more fabric so that there could be a little bit wider borders, which would have made it easier than to turn, because you turn it once and then turn it twice and then sew it down. And I think it would have been easier if the fabric had been a little wider. But it'll look great in a book. It's in the book I'm currently reading. I had to pull it out and put a different piece of paper in there to bring it today. So Happy to have that one done and able to use it as a bookmark. And it was a great opportunity to try a new technique. And then my last FFO happened the day we filmed our FFO parade. I got this frame, which is just a Mill Hill frame, for Christmas. And I slapped this puppy in it, and I wrote the information on when I stitched it, when I framed it, and my name on the back. And so this one is all ready for next fall for camping season. This is called, I think that the name of the Mill Hill kit is called Camping Out. And right now I am thinking that I'm gonna put a hanger on this and enter it into the state fair next year. I have seen other Mill Hill kits entered in the like mixed techniques, because it's beading and cross stitch, or mixed stitchery, something like that. And they've taken home ribbons. So I think this could be a contender. We'll see when I get there how many other things I have and what becomes the priority, but there's a good chance that becomes the priority. So 4 FFOs, finished out the year with 1 more FFO than finish, which was my goal for the year. It was all year, it was stay ahead. And I managed to do that, and I'm really happy with the outcome. I brought my book. Let me grab it. So each year, my BFF Beth sends me these Linnea design calendars, and I use them to track my stitching every day. As you can see, December, fantastic month, especially after I got off work. I did something every day from when I got off work. And at the end of the year, I had a total of 26 FFOs. No, sorry, 32 FFOs and 31 finished objects. And that star was indeed called Christmas Star Ornament. So I am super happy to have more FFOs than FOs, because that means my list of to be finished didn't get longer this year. It got shorter by 1. So that's very exciting. I'm under 40 in that list. And I'll talk, maybe I will talk now about my goals for next year, because they're mostly stitching related. So in terms of the actual cross stitching, I don't have a ton of goals, because I go here and there wherever I want what I stitch. I don't have any projects this year that I'm like, oh, I have to make this for this person or for this event. So I will stitch what I want when I want for the whole year. I am sure I will find new things at market that I have to stitch. And I am sure I will pick out some patterns from my stash that I have to stitch. So it will be an eclectic mix, as it always is here. But my goals are really on the finishing side, which has been the theme for the last couple of years. We will continue on with FFO challenge. I think we should strip the year off it now, and just when you post it, post FFO challenge, tag me, because, you know, hashtags on Instagram. Not doing it anymore. But I'm going to keep going with the FFO challenge because it helps keep me motivated. So I have 2, I'm going to call them ideas. They're kind of goals for this year. The first one is focus on framing. I have done really well at finishing the smaller projects. I have not done well at finishing the bigger ones or the pieces that I want to frame. Earlier this year, I did my first, what I'll say, like complicated framing piece when I framed Goody Grimwood. I was really happy with how it turned out. I took my time, and that gave me the confidence to say, I can do more of this. So my goal this year is to focus on those that need framing. I'm going to need to order frames for many of them, whether it's pre-made frames or custom-made frames. I want to get myself on Etsy. I want to get moving to get some of those items in, and then I want to get them framed and finished so that they can be displayed and hung on the wall. So that's goal number 1, focus on framing. Goal number 2, goal is a strong word. Idea number 2 is around FFOing. And I thought to myself, I do most of my FFOing on the weekends. It's pretty rare that I spend evening time in my sewing room, my basement, during the week. Occasionally I do, but most of it in the evenings, like once I'm home from work and we have dinner, we sit down and watch some TV, and then I'm like glued to the couch and I stitch. So what I would like to do is for each month, for the number of weekends that I'm home, have one FFO. So this month, I had one full weekend at home. So that would mean by the end of January, I should have one FFO. And I'm not going to be super strict. Oh, I just realized it'll be 2 months because I'll be home the last weekend of January, I think. So 2 FFOs for January. I'm not going to be super strict to say like they have to be done by the end of the month, but that'll be kind of my target. Because I think if I kind of set my mind to it that, okay, I'm home, I can go down, I can work on an FFO and get it done in a weekend, that will be good. The framing ones take a little bit longer. Some of the smaller ones, I'm in the mood, I might finish 3 or 4 in one weekend, so I might give myself a little bit of a bank for the next month. But that's what's been rattling around in my head, and I think it'll work out for me. So we'll see when we get to the end of January. I have one that I did work on a little bit last weekend. I'm not counting this weekend as being home because I have not been home very much, and I don't think I will be before the end of the long weekend. I do have tomorrow off, but that's okay. We'll count last weekend and the last weekend of the month because next weekend I'll be traveling. And we'll try and get 2 FFOs, either at the end of January or shortly into February. And then in February, I think I'm home every weekend. So however many weekends we have in February, that's how many FFOs I'd like to go for. So that's the plan on that side. On the quilting side, I have really focused the last several years on bringing down my number of tops that are finished and not quilted. I still have 4 or 5 of those, and I will continue to work on them. I have one that's just about ready to go on the frame now. And I feel pretty good that over time, like I'll get those on the frame. What I have not made any progress on is the blocks. So I have one set of blocks is completely done, not in a quilt top. I have one quilt that I've made maybe a half a dozen blocks for. I haven't gone back to it. I got a quilt book for Christmas, which I just realized I didn't bring to show you, from my daughter, and I really want to make that quilt. I saw a quilt on Stephanie's Flosstube recently. What's her name? Something about quilting every day. Sorry, Stephanie, I can't remember the name. I'll link it below. That I really liked. I recently started a Bonnie Hunter quilt. So my goal for this year is we're going with the F theme. And so far, it's working out okay because January can kind of F off given what happened this weekend. Anyway, so my quilting theme is going to be focused on flimsies. So really working on blocks, working on quilt tops to get them to the quilt top stage. I think that will be fun, and I think I'll have a good time doing piecing, which I haven't done a ton of in the last few years. So those are the goals for this year. I will put those out on my blog. I haven't done it yet. I will also do a recap of 2025, and I'll share those when they come out. All right, so that's all the core stuff. We'll go into a little bit of Happy Mail and a couple of Christmas gifts that I got that I wanted to share. And then I have a little bit of quilting, and then we'll keep going. So I got a absolutely beautiful card from Deborah. Thank you so much, Deborah. And this part right here comes off and is an ornament, and it's stitched. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? I absolutely love it. And I was going to put it on my tree, but then I thought I couldn't show you how cool it is, how it comes off of here. So now that I've shown you, that will come off and that will go into my ornament box for next year. And again, thank you, Deborah. That was super nice of you. I got a quilt book for my daughter, which I forgot to bring. I got 2 nerd hoops, one from my mom and one from either my husband or one of my kids. I can't remember whose name was on that package. I already used this for the Christmas star ornament and I love it. So it will be nice to have a couple of Nerd hoops. My mom gave me a little Crafty Blue Bonnet kit. And I think she showed this last time. I think she had bought it for herself and she knew she had one for me too, but she wasn't going to tell me that. So it's a super cute stitch and it comes with the fabrics to make the little pillow. So that will be a fun one. That will go right into my Stitch Soon box because I would love to have that done for next year. And then I have a friend, you know who you are, somebody that I met through the stitching world who sent me a surprise little gift. And it's this set of Sparkle Pop pens and they are so fun. They're sparkly gel ink and I'm having a great time writing with them. My friend Sarah gave me a beautiful journal which has stitching on the top, and this has got to be, I think it's got to be hand stitched, and then it has my name stitched into it. And the pages, it's got to be handmade. Beautiful pages, nice thick pages inside. I haven't decided yet what I'm going to record in this, but I really, really like it. It's really beautiful. And with it came this little crochet leaf bookmark. So that is just a beautiful gift from her. And then from my friend Beth, who used to be my stitching friend Beth, and then she started quilting. She has been sewing like crazy and she made me a bag. And I love it. And it's teal, which is a color she and I both love. And I don't know the pattern. So Beth, you'll have to leave a comment with the pattern. But you open it up and guess what? There's a baby bag inside it. Look at that. So it's a double bag set. I absolutely love it. It is like great size for travel, great size for stitching stuff. I don't know exactly what I'll put in it yet because I didn't let myself take it into my room until I showed it here. It has a hook on the end so it could easily clip in somewhere. So thank you, Beth. I love my bags. And by the way, I just got your present mailed yesterday. It's been a crazy couple of weeks and finally got it in the mail. So maybe you'll see this as you open your present. So those are some great Christmas gifts. Like I said, I have a book from my daughter. I'll try and remember to bring that, or I may be starting the quilt soon. So you'll see it as I work on that, but it's a book for a quilt. And then that's all the haul and happy mail. I did a little bit of sewing since I saw you last, and I have been working on a Bonnie Hunter quilt whose name is escaping me right now. Sorry, guys. I talked about it last time in our last Flosstube, so the name's probably in there. And I've been working on neutral 4 patches. I now have 148 neutral 4 patches. I need like 225. And I got bored with neutrals, so I started purple. This was really fun, pulling a bunch of purples from my stash and making the purple 4 patches. I can't wait to see how this all comes together. I have 39 of these, and I think I need somewhere around 100 of them. So I decided, because I've just been working it and trying to keep the number in my head, and I finally got smart. I put them all in a project bag, and I wrote myself a note on the project bag of how many of each color I had, so I can just cross it out and add to it as I continue to make 4 patches. After I make this, then there's, I think, 3 more different pieces you make, but there's no rush on that one. It will come together as it comes together. I think that's everything I've been working on. No crocheting in the last days since you saw the hat that fell apart by my hand. I haven't gone back to it. I don't feel like it right now. I'll pick up the yarn again someday when I feel like it. And I think that's everything. So we had a couple of giveaways on our last show. I was pulling the giveaway winners, and halfway through I got distracted and forgot to take screenshots of some of them. So a few of these have screenshots of the names and a few of them don't. But hopefully if you hear your name, you know who you are and you can reach out to me. Just email twotallstitchers@gmail.com. Tell me which prize you won, and they will go in the mail probably not till the beginning of February, end of January, beginning of February, because I leave town this week, and you know, we're a little busy right here right now. So I will get them out to you as I can. The first one is Rivaris. I was calling it Joy Reindeer, and that one goes to Kathy Mountain. So for each of the winners, please send an email with your address and confirm that you're over 18 so that I can take your address and mail you your gift. Number 2 was 3 Old Snowheads. This is a quilting pattern by Buttermilk Basin. And the winner of this one is Marianne Benoit. Marianne, congratulations. Number 3 is Rudolph and Mrs. Claus from Stitching with the Housewives. This goes to Tammy Vickery. Tammy, you have to let me know if you're related to the Vickery who was a professor at Alma College. That would be a very small world if you are. Number 4 was Gingerbread Mittens. This is by Blackberry Lane Designs, and the winner of this one is Carrie Dye, D-Y-E. After that, number 5, Plum Street Samplers, All is Calm. The winner of this one is Ida Silver Floss Creations. I wonder if this is the Ida who films with Born to Stitch. That would be funny if it is. I could have just sent it with my daughter, if it is. If not, there's another Ida. Number 6, Snowy Pines, Donna H, 1105. You are the winner of Snowy Pines. Number 7 is Snowman Gathering by Diane Arthurs. It is an imaginating piece. And the winner of this one is Kendra Souter. And then number 8, which was the first day of Christmas sampler from Hello from Liz Matthews, was won by Char J57. I see your name a lot on Instagram and in the comments here, so I know you engage with us a lot. So congratulations to all of you. Like I said, send an email to tallstitchers@gmail.com and we will get those out to you sometime soon. Plans over the next few weeks. Tomorrow I'll be taking my dad to the dentist, and hopefully I'll be here when the hot water heater gets replaced, because that also happened the same day that Mom fell. They haven't had any hot water for the weekend, so I keep waiting until everybody's settled, and then I run home to take a shower. But after that, I will probably have another busy week at work this week, and then Thursday I am leaving to go to Savannah. I'm meeting my cousins there to celebrate a 40th birthday for one of my cousins. So it'll be the 3 of us and a couple of her other friends, which will be a very fun weekend. And then after that, I'll be back, and I'm planning to be here until market. Hopefully Mom will continue to recover well. My sister-in-law is coming in tomorrow and will be here until next weekend. So Mom will have some support for everything. And yeah, so plans are when I get back, hopefully I'll keep stitching all along the way. I haven't decided yet which project or projects I'll take with me to Savannah, but I definitely will take something, hopefully, to work on the plane. And then when I get back, hopefully I'll be able to get some FFOing and some quilting in. So I will wrap up. I asked Mom, what question should I ask? And she said, have you ever injured yourself so you can't stitch? So I thought maybe I just broaden that a little bit. So my question of the day for you is, have you ever had a stitching slump? What caused it? Was it something physical? Was it lack of interest? Was it something emotional? You don't have to get into, heavy, deep things, but just let me know if you've had a stitching slump and then how you worked your way back out of it at the end. That'll be great, and Mom will enjoy seeing all those comments. So I don't know when we'll be back. We'll see how she heals and how she feels about filming. If she's not back, I probably will be, as long as you guys don't mind me being by myself. And we will keep showing you stuff, and she will certainly come back at some point. But until then, thanks so much. I appreciate you all watching and engaging with us, and thanks in advance for your warm wishes for my mom. I know we all love her very much, and she will get better. So that's the good news. We will see you hopefully soon. Hopefully it will be both of us. Until then, you can find us on Instagram. I'm at Jen Quilter. She's at Grand Stitches. You can email us at twotallstitchers@gmail.com. You can visit my blog at quiltingmomsblog.blogspot.com. And thank you very much. If you enjoyed, please give us a like, leave a comment, and tell a friend. Thanks so much and have a great day. Bye.